The story is about a professional guardian called Marla, played by Rosamund Pike, and the story came about because I'd heard news reports about real professional guardians in America, and I sort of went down a sort of a Google tunnel, reading lots of news stories about these people and what they did, and I was sort of kind of horrified about what they were doing, even though mostly it was kind of legal. There's kind of like a legal loophole, and I thought that was sort of like an interesting territory that was similar to, like, had lots of themes in it that I was interested about, of like kind of humans being commodities and like ambition and like the American dream and things like that. The director of photography was Doug Emmett, and this is the first time I'm working with Doug. I really liked the film Sorry to Bother You that he made with Boots Riley, and I really loved his sort of his framing and his use of colour. And with all the HIDs, I mean, I had a very specific sort of look and colour palette in mind for the film. It's not quite a naturalistic world, it's a slightly heightened world, and so finding heads of department that were really enthusiastic about that and bringing lots and lots of ideas. So Doug, you know, we talked a lot about the references that I had, and he was really excited about them, and like the kind of photography that we both like is very similar, so we started getting each other excited about the possibilities and started talking about the different cameras and stuff. And Doug's really shot this to be sort of punchy and colourful and dynamic and sort of reminiscent of sort of films of like the 50s and 60s, and, you know, having that really sort of like colourful, punchy look. Costume designer was Deb Newell, and she, with Michael and Doug and Deb, we all got together at the beginning and talked about the colour palette, because I had a very I was determined to make this quite a colourful film, because the films that I was thinking of as influenced by like the 1960s films by Goddard and Technicolor films from the 50s, as well as like early 90s kind of films shot on film. They have this really sort of high contrast, punchy, colourful look, and rather than sort of suppress the colours, I really wanted to bring them out. So we sort of looked at lots of photos, all of us together, and sort of talking about who was going to take charge of colour in the scene, and we really worked out where the colour should go, and we all worked in collaboration with each other. Got very lucky with our cast. We got a really good ensemble cast, quite a deep bench of not just the main cast, but the supporting actors, including Scoot McNairy, Chris Messina, Isaiah Whitlock Jr., we have all sorts of people in there who I've been big fans of for a long time, and then every time they're in a movie, they make the movie better, and they're really reliable, and they get to do something a little different from what they usually do. Rosamund and I were talking for quite a long time before we started shooting the film, and we'd like watch movies together, and we talk about the character a lot, and kind of go into the character's past and do a lot of that sort of work. And I did a similar thing with Asa. We talked about the character's past and what they'd sort of been through, and sort of build a backstory for them, which then by the time we get to shoot, then they're not really thinking about that, but hopefully they've sort of absorbed it and they're sort of informing everything they do. But mostly it's just a conversation. You hire really good actors, you sort of let them bring their ideas, you see what they can do, and then you just sort of tell them what you're thinking, and, you know, hopefully if it all works, then you're all trying to make the same film.